I know I can handle it. I've been handling things on my own for 16 years now. As I sit here in my mom's old house, my house now, I feel a mix of emotions. Sadness for the family I lost, pride in what I've accomplished, anxiety about the future. But mostly I feel determined to make the best decision I can, whatever that may be. I know I don't owe my dad anything. He wasn't there for me when I needed him most. But I also know that holding on to anger and resentment isn't good for me. Maybe this is an opportunity for growth and healing, or maybe it's an opportunity to set firm boundaries and prioritize my own well-being. To show myself the love and protection that my father didn't provide. Either way, I know this won't be an easy decision, but I've faced tough choices before and come out stronger. Whatever happens, I'll get through this too. I just need time to think, gather more information, and listen to my heart. For tonight, I'm going to try to relax and not make any decisions. I'll call my boyfriend, watch some TV, and try to get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow is another day, and I'll face this challenge with a clear head and a strong spirit. Life has thrown me another curveball, but I'm ready to step up to the plate. I've built a good life for myself, and I won't let anyone, not even my dad, take that away from me. Whatever I decide, it will be on my terms, for my reasons. I'm not that abandoned 20-year-old anymore. I'm a capable adult who can handle difficult situations and make tough choices. I just hope I make the right one. Update. After posting about my dilemma, I decided to talk to my boyfriend and get more information from my dad. I wanted to approach this rationally and make an informed decision. I called my boyfriend first. He's always been a great source of support, and I value his opinion. I explained the situation to him and asked what he thought I should do. True to his nature, he was understanding and supportive. "Honey, this is a really personal decision," he said. "I can't tell you what to do. Whatever you decide, I'll support you 100%. If you want him to move in, we'll make it work. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm here for you either way." His response was comforting, but it also meant the decision was entirely on my shoulders. I thanked him for his support and told him I'd keep him updated. Next, I called my dad. I needed to know more about what had happened with Claudia and why he was in this situation now. When he picked up, he sounded relieved to hear from me. I cut straight to the point and asked him to explain everything. What he told me made my blood boil. Apparently, over the past 16 years, he had been working and earning a decent amount. But instead of saving for his future, or, I don't know, helping his own daughter, he spent everything on Claudia and her kid. He paid for their living expenses, funded the kids' education, even bought them a car. He said he felt obligated because Claudia had taken him in. But now that her child was grown and working, Claudia had asked him to leave. According to my dad, her kid didn't want the responsibility of taking care of an old man. As I listened, I felt a mix of emotions: hurt, anger, disbelief. All those years when I was struggling, working multiple jobs to pay for college, living on ramen noodles, and crying myself to sleep. My dad had money. He could have helped me. But he chose to support Claudia and her child instead. I thought about the nights I stayed up late studying, the weekends I worked instead of going out with friends, the constant stress of wondering if I'd make rent. All while my dad was playing happy families with Claudia, forgetting he had a daughter who needed him. The realization hit me hard. Not only had he abandoned me emotionally, but he had also chosen to financially support someone else's family while leaving me to fend for myself. It felt like a second betrayal. In that moment, any guilt or obligation I felt towards him disappeared. I took a deep breath and spoke clearly into the phone. "Dad," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. "I've heard enough. I'm sorry you're in a difficult situation, but I won't be able to help you. You need to figure this out on your own." He started to protest, but I cut him off. "For 16 years, you chose Claudia and her child over me. You supported them financially while I struggled alone. You made your choice back then, and now you have to live with the consequences." My dad's voice cracked as he began to apologize, but I wasn't interested in hearing it. "Please don't call me again," I said. "I wish you the best, but I can't be part of your life anymore. Goodbye, Dad." I hung up before he could respond. My hands were shaking, but I felt a sense of relief wash over me. For the first time in years, I felt like I had stood up for myself against my father's neglect. I know some might think I'm being cruel, but I don't see it that way. I'm protecting myself and the life I've built. I'm choosing my own well-being over someone who never chose me. I called my boyfriend back and told him what happened. He was supportive as always, telling me he was proud of me for making a tough decision. We talked for a while, and his words helped reinforce that I'd made the right choice. Now, as I sit in my home, the home I've maintained and improved on my own for 16 years, I feel a mix of sadness and strength. I'm sad for the relationship I'll never have with my father, but I'm proud of myself for setting boundaries and prioritizing my own well-being. I don't know what will happen to my dad now, and part of me feels guilty about that. But a larger part knows that I'm not responsible for him. He's an adult who made his own choices, and now he has to deal with the results of those choices. Moving forward, I'm going to focus on the people who have been there for me: my boyfriend, my friends, and most importantly, myself. I've taken care of myself for 16 years, and I'll continue to do so. This experience has been difficult, but it's also been clarifying. I now know where I stand, and I'm no longer carrying the weight of what if on my shoulders. I'm free to continue building my life on my own terms, without the shadow of my father's neglect hanging over me. It's not the happy ending